I believe Survivor Series 2020 was a bit of a disappointment. I'll talk about the pay-per-view in a second, but I want to start this video by talking about The Undertaker. So last night we said goodbye to one and only, the Phenom, the Dead Man, The Undertaker, and what a ride it has been. Here's what's special about The Undertaker. It doesn't matter when you started watching wrestling, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, a year ago, you got to experience The Undertaker. This man entertained us for 30 years. And he's almost as cool as this dude. Nobody in the wrestling world has that kind of presence, you know? A single Undertaker's entrance can be more entertaining than the whole pay-per-view. If you're a wrestling fan, I'm pretty sure some of your favorite wrestling memories involve The Undertaker. It's kinda sad that we will never get to experience this, who's gonna face The Undertaker next year at WrestleMania, ever again. That's really sad. Now obviously the man made some questionable decisions at the end of his career, and a lot of people criticize him for that, and sure, he had some very bad matches. But I kinda understand the man. He didn't want to retire with a bad match. And his last match against AJ Styles, I think that was a pretty good match. I think he should be satisfied with that one. But sometimes I keep thinking, what if The Undertaker versus John Cena was a bit longer? What if they gave them 5 more minutes? The Undertaker looked amazing in this match. He looked so prepared. It's kind of a shame this match wasn't very long. So at Survivor Series, we said goodbye to The Undertaker. We saw a bunch of legends. We saw Vince McMahon, you know, he was a bit emotional. We got to experience The Undertaker's entrance one last time. That was special. The promo wasn't long. He was very emotional and said, his time has come. It's time for The Undertaker to rest in peace. Now that really is the end of an era. Now let's talk about the pay-per-view, WWE Survivor Series 2020. I think it was a disappointment, if I'm being honest. You know, I wasn't super excited about it, but I was like, okay, this is gonna be one of these shows that is gonna surprise the hell out of us. And some of the most important matches were the worst matches of the show. I shouldn't say the worst matches, they weren't necessarily bad, but they were very forgettable, and I don't necessarily agree with the booking decisions. So first of all, we got the kickoff show. We got a battle royal, a big battle royal. We saw a bunch of Smackdown talent, Raw talent, and honestly, I don't think it was that bad. You know, for the first time in many years, I actually liked a battle royal. You know, a battle royal is basically a poor man's Royal Rumble. The difference is very big. But I was like, okay, this is not that bad. You know, we were seeing a bunch of great talent. We saw Dominic Mysterio, Chad Gable in the end. But The Miz was not actually eliminated, yes. So when Dominic Mysterio won, The Miz, you know, threw him out of the ring, and The Miz actually won. And that was a bit of a disappointment, you know. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. The Miz is a Mr. Money in the Bank. He didn't even tease a cash-in during the show. So all of this was pretty pointless. Let's talk about the actual show. And this show kicked off with a very big match. A traditional Survivor Series tag team match. Raw versus Smackdown. We got shirts. That I really appreciate. And I gotta say, man, I was a bit disappointed with the match. I was actually very disappointed with the match. So we got the match. My expectations are quite high because these kind of matches can be really good. But then it begins. So Seth Rollins decides to sacrifice himself. Yeah, he tells Sheamus to do his part. He says, for the greater good, we got a bro kick, and Seth Rollins basically eliminates himself. Okay, first of all, why? What's the point? What does that even mean? I guess he's written off television, but why? What was the point? And that was the story of the match. Not a single Raw superstar got eliminated, but we got every single SmackDown superstar being eliminated. And we didn't necessarily get anything crazy during this match. The last remaining member of SmackDown was Jey Uso, and that was a pretty decent performance. I get it, but he didn't eliminate anyone, not a single superstar. And it wasn't long enough to be like, okay, that was a performance of the year. What a breakout star. None of that. We got a Spirit Bomb and Team Raw wins. Every single member. None of them got eliminated. That was a very disappointing match. Look at Paul Heyman, he's disappointed as well. This reminds me of 2018 when we got the worst Survivor Series match since the draft. This could be, well, I think that was a bit better, but yeah, That's it. And by the way, unlike previous years, we didn't get, points. They didn't show us that. So right now, there's even less of a reason to fight for your brand. Like, it doesn't even matter at all right now. So I believe this match was a big disappointment, Wasn't bad, but very disappointing. Another interesting match was Raw Tag Team Champions, The New Day versus Smackdown Tag Team Champions, The Street Profits. This is a bit of a dream match, and I wouldn't say it was bad. It was actually a very enjoyable match, but I don't think it was memorable. Like, it's not one of these matches that you're gonna look back and say, that was one hell of a match, one of the main reasons to watch Survivor Series 2020. I don't think so. One thing that I like about this match is that the Street Profits won because they really needed that victory more than the New Day. So that's good. It was almost like a passing of the torch. So all in all, I think it was one of the most positive things about the show, but pretty forgettable if I'm being honest. United States Champion Bobby Lashley versus Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn was pretty okay. It told a predictable story. Sami Zayn is surrounded by the Hurt Business, but he wants to cheat. But he can't because he's surrounded by the Hurt Business. One time he actually, tried to manipulate the Hurt Business into, punching him. This way he could win, but they did nothing. But once the referee didn't see it, MVP got involved. And that's how Sami Zayn lost the match. Bobby Lashley won and Sami Zayn was complaining. He said, did you see it? Did you see it, Cole? What happened right here? So I think it wasn't that bad. I guess now Sami Zayn can go on SmackDown and make us laugh by complaining, they cheated. I would have won. Sami Zayn is the best, man. Roman Reigns tells to get the hell out of here to the Usos. He doesn't want to talk to losers. Raw Champion Asuka versus SmackDown Champion Sasha Banks is a match that I was not excited about because we already seen that many times. I don't think it was anything that special. At first it kind of dragged. But I'll say at the end of the match it kind of got interesting. And I'm very happy. I'm super happy we didn't get Carmella. I'm very happy about that. We got a bunch of roll-ups and stuff, and that's how Sasha Banks won the match. It doesn't hurt Asuka. What hurts Asuka though is having no challengers at all and barely defending the championship because she doesn't have anyone to defend the championship against. And again, what sucks is that it doesn't really matter, you keep thinking maybe they could introduce rules. For example, if you're in this match, you're gonna basically get to make any match you want on SmackDown or get to book one show, whatever, anything really. We got women's traditional 5-on-5 elimination match. I basically called this one. I told you Lana's gonna be, a sole survivor, but I thought she is actually gonna do something and surprise the hell out of us, surprise the hell out of Nia Jax. So yeah, we got this match, and I'll say that was worse than the men's one. That was actually, the men's one wasn't bad. It was just kind of disappointing. This one didn't have high expectations. Well, it was worse than I expected. So Lana was standing here the whole match because Nia Jax told her to. So at the end of the match, we got Bianca Belaire versus Nia Jax. But they got counted out. And since Lana is still in this match, they won. And Lana was very happy. I don't know why you didn't do anything. Lana was very happy. That sucked, if I'm being honest. That kind of sucked. It was funny, but it felt like a bit of a joke, if I'm being honest, and made this match look very unimportant. So let's talk about the last match, and quite possibly the only great match of the show, the only memorable match of the show. WWE Champion Drew McIntyre versus Universal Champion Roman Reigns. It was hard for them to make this match good because the expectations are very high, Lesnar versus AJ, Lesnar versus Bryan. And at first I was like, okay, this is not necessarily what I expected. This feels like a normal match. I was nervous that this match is gonna suck. But then it actually got good. In the middle of the match, I was like, okay, this is getting good. This feels different. This feels important. These two men really feel like the biggest stars of WWE at the moment. I'm here for it. I'm excited about the match. And this, quite honestly, might be the match of the year. It's possible. Obviously, I would have preferred a clean victory. But we got Jey Uso when the referee got knocked out. That was pretty special. So we got Jey Uso and they teamed up and we got this new submission from Roman Reigns and Drew basically passed out. So that's how Roman Reigns won the match. So it was still good, but I wish we got a clean victory because it's a pay-per-view. You know, when it's a pay-per-view, when it's a big match, I want to see just normal shit, you know? I don't want to see this Monday Night Raw Smackdown crap. I'm not saying it was bad, but it's so obvious that WWE didn't want either of these men to lose clean, and they gave us something predictable, which, you know, kind of sucks a bit, but the match itself was actually very, very good. It felt special. It felt like watching two gladiators, you know, fighting for their life, and great stuff. Again, the biggest negative is what they're fighting for. You know, what's the point? And that's all I got for you. Let me know in the comments below, did you enjoy the paper? What was your favorite match and least favorite match? What disappointed you? Thank you for watching The Great One. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.